Yamaha and to Pramac, and he certainly did take the KTM project forward, helped it move forward when he joined them back at the beginning of 2023, but ultimately KTM said when they made the decision to go in a new direction for this season that ultimately Brad Binder and Pedro Acosta were getting more out of the progress that Jack Miller brought to the KTM than Jack Miller had himself, and that's ultimately part of the reason why
our team's going to be certainly hoping that's the case, isn't he?
Certainly is. And yeah, we were referencing Jorge Martin. We were chatting about him earlier before Luca Marini had his crash. His life is going to change a lot, of course, and he's going to have to get used to all of the world champion duties as Pedro Acosta goes back home for Christmas, back home to the Red Bull KTM factory squad, and back with his former team boss from his Moto2 and Moto3 days, Aki Ayo as well, who of course will be now heading up that operation down there. But Jorge Martin on Sunday, of course, had to do as the world champions always do. So much Mead knows. He's going up.
Time, haven't we? Departing team manager Francesco Guidotti leaving the scene and coming in. Well, he's won countless world championships in Moto3 and in Moto2. He's been the reason why so many of our current crop of MotoGP riders have cut their teeth and found success in the Premier class. It's Aki Ayo, the new Red Bull KTM factory racing team boss, I'm delighted to say, joins Jack down in pit lane. Yeah,
he does indeed. Great to have the opportunity. Not my first conversation with Aki in pit lane, but first in a slightly different shade of orange. Now with the MotoGP official team gear on, how does it feel to be here? First day of the new job.
Yes, somehow yes, first day, but of course I have followed the project many years, and of course working with KTM already a really long time, and so it's not everything completely, fortunately everything not completely new. I can understand what you are doing.
Aki, thanks for your time.
What did you think? Is it a good bike? And of course, Jorge Martin will be comparing it to the motorcycle that has just dominated the MotoGP World Championship, winning so many races this year, and of course taking a 1-2 in the World Championship with Jorge Martin and Pecco Bagnaia. And Jorge Martin is probably not going to get a firm answer today what he's working with next year. I guess it's when he gets on the full 2025 spec Aprilia. We'll see a version of it today, but I guess the final package won't finally be put in place until the final pre-season test, and then the first race in Buriram at the start of March next year, when Jorge Martin will finally begin his World Championship defence in a competitive...
Martin getting set for his second stint, then out on the factory Aprilia. Pedro Acosta also getting ready to head out on circuit. Just as you can see on the timing town on the left-hand side of your screens, Alex Marquez has made a very good start to 2020. Lucho Cecchinello into the box first of all. Lucho, good morning to you. Happy New Year, happy 2025.
happy 2025. Thank you for having me here.
Obviously,
this factory for Jorge Martin.
Of the circuit, of course, a rider who's put so much into development of this 2025 spec RC16 is Paul Espargaro, so we can hear straight from the horse's mouth exactly the work that he has been putting in. As Acosta now at the moment, then this could be the best time of the day so far. Alex Marquez leads with a 1:40.006. It's been a seamless transition over to the GP24 for the Gresini Racing rider. Into 10 we go then. Let's stay quiet and see if this is going to be the best time of the day from Pedro Acosta. And this could be a lap time that moves him up for KTM RC16. Of course, yeah, very early.
Ended up winless. Here he is on the number 37 now. Of course, came very, very close in the sprint in Motogp to taking that first MotoGP win, be it either on a Saturday or on a Sunday. He's now our fastest rider of this Barcelona test so far, and the first rider to lap this circuit to Barcelona Catalunya in under 100 seconds, 1:39.902.
Up against Jorge Martin in the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. At that stage, I think we were still thinking, well, we were, it was quite rightly so, that Bastianini, maybe, albeit a dark horse, was still a pretty serious contender for the World Championship, but Sepang is only podium since that Emilia-Romagna win. Sepang and here in Barcelona, that he still lost the World Championship. 10 points was the final gap between Martin and Bagnaia. the copybook blotted by those 8 DNFs, you always felt that 1 or 2 of them were going to really hurt Bagnaia. Ultimately, as he said himself, Lewis, when he was doing his post-race interview on Sunday, the most hurtful and the most damaging one was the crash at the Sepang Sprint, where he said, going into that turn 9, that tricky first gear left-hander, I was doing nothing wrong, I was slower.
In third rather than throwing the bike at the floor. His big mistakes this year and the crashes for him on the podium, so consistency won the day.
Big day for Trackhouse Racing Aprilia as they...
It's been a while since I'm not enjoying as much as I'm doing while I'm not riding, actually, because I'm not riding, but it's super interesting to be here around to hear what the guys say, the new ones, also the new stuff, to see the new stuff rolling, like we are seeing Pedro trying different aeros, and you know, it's an emotion. It's super emotional.
It feels like Christmas Day for us, doesn't it, when we're in Motogp? All the talk very soon, because he's got an absolutely brilliant set of leathers and helmet. Let's talk though about KTM. Of course, you do so much great work behind the scenes as a part of the test team. What do you think, or what have you told them are the key areas that they...
Toured by traction, better stopping. We are seeing our bike normally going super sideways, so it's super interesting to hear what Enea and what Mavericks are bringing to the team. Like that, we can really focus in some areas that maybe we think they are good and actually they are not, or on areas that we think we are struggling but actually they are very, very nice. So it's important to know that we have our strong points for sure, we have our weaknesses, but it's good to hear these guys coming to the factory, because the guys that are currently on, like Pedro or myself or Brad or Danny, you get used to of these bad manners of the bikes, and then it's difficult to understand where you are losing as much just when you are behind a guy. But the first, ask them too much or too much questions. We are gonna have plenty of time during the winter and also during the preseason. So now just they were happy. They said the bike is good. They are happy riding the bike, and they need a lot of experience, a lot of lap, putting new tires, and then for sure when they start to push, which I believe they are not going 100%, they are going to start to feel the best points and the weaknesses for sure.
Let's talk about this very special talent on screen this year. Has it already been finalised and discussed what your plans are for next season in terms of maybe doing a few more wildcards next year?
Yeah, I think I reach a place or what's happening, because these bikes, as you can see, they are every year and even every weekend a little bit more complicated, with more aerodynamics, more devices on the bike, and it's very difficult even for me sometimes to explain what the other manufacturers are doing to the TV when they ask me, but it really match it together with the test team. I can be here with the guys, I can hear what they say, they complainings, and then when I'm on the test team I'm performing better. So really enjoying my life right now, and yeah, I hope just to keep everything for the next year.
Has it been what you expected? I mean, obviously, you guys are riding motorcycles since you're 4-5 years of age, all working towards being in MotoGP, being successful as you were, winning the Moto2 World Championship, but it's so much hard work, so much dedication, so much sacrifice that you have to put in. So, sort of stepping away a little bit, have you missed it, or did you feel like the time was right?
Yeah, I missed it. There is no way if you love
nothing
that sport,
can replace it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an amazing feeling, especially when you perform, when you do a good result after finish 10th in San Marino, Misano, after a crazy race, raining, stopping. That was the feeling, that you are able to finish in that top 10 position in a MotoGP. Enjoying it, really love it. Yeah, as I was saying, I mean, you always, fire mood when I'm on the bike is not the same one that when I to step apart and let them go into the factory, because they are gonna perform better. He's trying to say, you please keep in your hands, and you cannot catch her because you have pain in your back or in your arms or whatever. That was painful. So I think I decided right. Also, I let the space to Pedro, which, look what he's doing. He's performing amazing, and for sure everything matters after seeing what Pedro is doing this year.
Just quickly, I mean, obviously we're looking at some new faces in KTM this year. Maverick Vinales and
the lessons are being learned, they can then put into practice as we go through the rest of the day. Pecco Bagnaia then, the former world champion, quickest so far from Alex Marquez and Pedro Acosta. Fine fourth for Maverick Vinales so far on his KTM debut. Fabio Quartararo fifth for Yamaha ahead of Brad Binder and Joan Mir. Frankie Morbidelli for VR46, eighth ahead of the two factory Aprilias of world champion Jorge Martin and Marco Bezzecchi. Ralph Fernandez 11th ahead of Marc Marquez and Johan Zarco. Alex Rins for Yamaha next up ahead of Honda. Test riding now Aleix Espargaro. Luca Marini had a crash at turn 5 early on. He's 16th ahead of Miguel Oliveira for the Pramac Yamaha squad, not Ducati as it says on your screens there. Michele Pirro next up ahead of our first rookie Fermin Aldeguer, and Enea Bastianini 20th for Tech 3 KTM ahead of Jack Miller, Somkhat Chantra, Ayagora and Lorenzo Savadori.
So Pecco Bagnaia's quest to reclaim the #1 plate in 2025 has started with him P1 in the early throes of 2025. He leads the Barcelona